All right. We should be live.
We are live.
All right. We have some technical difficulties, but we are back. This is a puncher's chance. I mean, at this point, y'all can introduce yourselves.
I'm Chad. My name will show otherwise, but yeah, I'm here.
I'm Brad. So welcome back again.
All right. So, Brad, give us the tell of the tape. What we got? What we got going on today? What's the topics?
All right. Well, first things first, we definitely got to talk about the fight card coming up this weekend, UFC 256,
Right.
David Figueredo versus Brandon Moreno. We're gonna talk about Tony Ferguson with his frustrations with not receiving a title shot, people counting him out, and just the ultimatum that he made for Charles Oliveira about missing weight, possibly missing weight. And we have, last but not least, Dana White, how he's cutting about 60 plus UFC fighters.
Okay. Okay.
Something that need to be done.
Yeah.
Do you really think it need to be done? I mean, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Well, let's get to 256 first, and then there's a lot of fights. Lot of fights on that undercard.
Right.
Every single fight I'm pretty much interested in, from the early prelims to the prelims. I'm gonna quickly run through names that I like, people that I want to see fight. Chase Hooper, I want to see fight.
Of course.
It's good
Big
to see
Chase.
Cub Swanson fight
Pew.
again.
Pew.
Um, it's just because we haven't seen him in a while.
You're
You
right.
know?
Every time
Uh,
we see a fight, it's just no.
Renato Moicano, he's fighting. That should be decent. Tisha Torres, it's good to see her again. That's
Yeah,
all the
McConnell.
prelims.
I'm worried about
Gavin
Raphael.
Um, I really don't want to see JDS fight, but I think JDS is fighting because if he doesn't fight, I think he was on that list of the 60.
Oh, he should
yeah.
be. He should
Um,
be. Without a
I
doubt.
think he's lost his last 2 or 3 fights. So
yeah,
Has
him versus Cyril Gain. I don't.
Mm.
We really haven't seen much from Cyril Gain. I think this is, a fight where it's like JDS's saving grace. Like, if he gets the job done and say maybe you can
Good.
stick around, and if not, then I don't really know what to do with you.
well, Cyril Gaines on a 6 fight win streak, and he only has 6 fights.
Yeah,
Man,
but
name
that's
is game.
but that's 6 fights versus nobody,
That's true.
pretty much. I mean, yeah, I mean he's top
JDS.
15.
I mean, you got to start somewhere, right?
But hold
Yeah.
on. But let's be real. The top 15 does matter, but there's rarely that, like, without that 10 through 5 that really be people would know about. You know what I'm
But
saying?
top 15 and heavyweight, which might arguably between light heavyweight and heavyweight, and sometimes flyweight might be the least attractive division as far as
Definitely the least.
as far as depth go on
Definitely the
fighter.
least. Definitely
Like,
the
if,
least.
if you're top 15 in heavyweight, that's not really saying much.
It's not. But I mean, Cyril Gain, what? He's ranked 14. Junior
Okay.
Dos Santos is ranked 7.
Right.
That's a
And that's
job.
that's what I'm saying. Is JDS is ranked 7. That mean and he hasn't that's what I'm saying, that it's not that deep. It's not that deep of a division. So
It's not.
I'm not really I don't really want to get hung up on that fight. That's If JDS gets a win, then cool, he could probably stick around more. Now Kevin Holland versus John.
Yes. Yes, that's what I need. Didn't Kevin Holland have COVID? Was
Yeah, he
something along
did.
those lines? So he
He was
bounced it
he was
back?
supposed to fight 3 weeks ago.
He was about
Okay.
to, he was supposed to fight Jack Hermanson.
That
Yeah,
would've
he
been
was supposed to
alright.
fight that Hermanson fight.
I actually wanted to see that fight.
Me too.
But, hey.
So why
Um,
we hold on, why we there? Why we there? But who y'all think would have won that?
After seeing the performance that Jack Hermanson displayed the other night against what was his name? Victory.
yeah, Vittori.
Yeah.
I
Um,
got Kevin Holland taking that W.
Hey, Kevin Holland.
yeah, I got Kevin Holland. Yeah,
Me
I
too.
got
All
Kevin
right,
Holland.
but we on the same page. Cool.
Kevin Holland right now, the Trailblazer, he's hot right now. So
Yeah,
I
that's my dog.
think this is just like the JDS fight with Jacare, because Jacare was already in hot water
I was
getting
just about
cut.
to say.
it is. He's another person that's in hot water. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
And-
Chad, you know something that's crazy? Jacare came in with a stellar ground game and then learned to be like stand up and figured out his way. It's crazy that he doesn't resort back to that. Like, I can't remember the
Oh.
last time he went to the ground for the most part.
Yeah, I'm about to say like
I think where
I don't know his grappling's not looking
you're
all that.
starting to see with a lot of higher end grappling guys, especially in the UFC, is like high end grappling is great,
Right.
but it has zero possibility of striking. And as soon as you start incorporating striking in with grappling, it's a whole nother world.
It is. You're right.
Like if you look at a lot of jujitsu matches and stuff like that, you got guys pulling guard, sitting down, they'll turn their back to God. Like you can't do that if somebody has the ability to punch and kick you.
Right.
Like you just don't. That is something that you just do not want to do, and so therefore it's kind of hard to get into a groove. And you got to remember, a lot of these guys that are black belts in jujitsu, brown belts in jujitsu, they're not good wrestlers.
I about
They're
to
just
say.
not good wrestlers. So how do you get to that point? You know?
Nah, I mean you're right. I mean to me wrestling definitely translates because you're active, you're moving too. You're kind of shelling up. You're very. I mean wrestling, you're definitely taught to be offensive, but there's a lot of ways you can shield yourself, getting that single leg, smothering the other opponent. So that's yeah, I see what you're saying in that.
Grappling, the wrestling side of grappling is the bridge between jujitsu and striking.
It is. I
If you
agree.
do not have a good bridge, it's hard to use either one of those weapons effectively because you have a wrestler like we've seen in Khabib and other guys that can completely nullify both sides.
Yep.
That's true.
And once they nullify that side, there's nothing you can do about it because they're just going to out wrestle you. So if I do not know how to wrestle and move for a position, well then you pretty much fucked at that point.
Well, that's the thing
So
now. Does jiu-jitsu come in there like that play? Like doesn't that you know where does
I
that come
mean,
into play?
yeah, but I mean, how many guys in jiu-jitsu are really wrestling?
It's not a lot.
Not not a
It's
lot.
not a lot. You're right.
Um, I see Kevin Holland taking this one just because I think Jacare is towards the later years of his career
I'm
anyway.
about to say he's older too, so
Yeah.
Kevin Holland's on a good streak. He's been very active this year.
Very, very much
So
so.
I think COVID was just a setback for him. Hopefully, there's no residual issues from COVID,
I'm
and
praying. Same thing.
I think it'll be a solid performance.
I mean, I've been watching him training on Instagram live, so now he's looking nice. So
Yeah. I mean, it looks like he's in shape.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, I agree too. Like I think
Now where you see, like, if you look at the men's side of MMA, high level jiu-jitsu really hasn't been a factor where guys are just dominating guys
yeah,
repeatedly. It hasn't really been a guy like that since like Damian Maya started to wane off.
yeah. That Maya used to be.
But
Yeah, that yeah.
also Damian Maya, you know what I'm saying? Like world class,
Right.
world class. Now, because you do not see a high amount of wrestling, where jiu-jitsu has leaps and bounds advantage is on the women's side. And you'll see that in the next fight that's after Kevin Holland, Jacare Souza, is Mackenzie Dern versus Verna
John,
Gondorova.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah. And both of them black belts, very, very good jiu-jitsu practitioners.
Very close to rank.
Mackenzie Dern is about as world-class as it gets.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we've talked about Mackenzie a lot.
Yeah, super strong.
Yeah.
Super strong. She comes from a good line. I mean, she comes from jiu-jitsu royalty, basically, pretty much royalty adjacent. That'll be a good grappling match, I think, between them. Like they'll go striking, but we know that hey, if it goes to the ground, one of them they got a point to prove.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what's
true.
funny about both fighters? If you look at their stats for grappling, their stats don't really show much of anything. Like the takedown average for McKenzie is a 0.43.
Well, that's because they don't really. Verna doesn't really have a lot of stats because she doesn't have a lot of fights.
Yeah, well,
Right.
hold on. Fights in UFC or just fights in general? Because she's 16-1.
Yeah, I'm talking about fights in the UFC.
Oh, okay.
that are going to count on the thing. Where I'm going to kind of counter you on that, where you say, "Oh, their takedown defense." Usually, it's the other person that takes them down. And they usually let them. And then if you look at their most important stat is Mackenzie Dern's got a 67% submission rate.
Right.
And Verna's got an 81% submission rate.
Which is huge.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're both high level. They finish fights. They finish fights with submissions. Mm-hmm. That is probably what's going to happen. And I think that Mackenzie Dern is just at a higher level.
I agree too.
Yeah, because Mackenzie can also strike. That's another thing that you failed to mention.
Yeah,
she has that bridge.
She's a decent striker, but she's not putting anybody away. I don't think any of these girls are putting anybody away. Mackenzie Dern's bigger. She's bigger than this girl.
Yeah.
So
She is for sure.
We'll see how that goes between them. If I was a betting man, I'm betting on Mackenzie Dern.
Oh,
that's
course.
fair. Yeah. I agree. I mean, Mackenzie's been nice. She hasn't failed me yet. So
both of them, I think their last 2 fights, each of them finished it with arm bars.
Yep. I mean, Vernon joint was nasty too.
Yeah, that arm bar was disgusting.
Was it face down arm bar?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Little transition in the middle of the arm bar.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was
nasty.
Very nasty. But hey, look, that's what this sport is about: being a savage.
Well,
and everyone likes a finish, besides the person getting finished, of course. But everyone likes a finish. So, yeah, no, I agree. I think the only thing about this fight that's going to happen, though, that I believe that a lot of people are not going to be super interested because it's jiu-jitsu. Remember, we had a conversation maybe about last podcast about pulling in the average fan. This may be one of the ones that don't. So if anyone's watching or whoever's watching or is going to listen to the podcast, there's going to still be a good fight. It's a high-level fight, but the next few fights in this card overall should be very entertaining, without a doubt. Yeah. So I'd say stick to it, and I think y'all going to enjoy it. I think you're going to enjoy it, for sure. Now,
Tony Ferguson.
Yep.
Tony Ferguson, Olivier.
This is Brad. This is Brad. Look at the smile. Look at the smile. Yes, sir.
Yes. I like both fighters.
Me too. Brad, do you want me to go first so I can make you mad?
Do you
want to go first?
Tony
Ferguson's going to lose this fight.
Whoa.
Look at his face. Tony Ferguson's going to lose this fight.
Hey,
I knew you was smoking something.
No. Seriously, he's gonna lose this fight.
I disagree.
I think he is way too demoralized coming off the Gaethje loss.
He's talking like it.
You can see it, and he's talking like it. And he talked like that before the Gaethje fight, and he came out there and he looked like a shell of himself.
All right, I'm not gonna lie. He has a very fair point.
And you got a young guy that is motivated, that has every single tool in the book, that is basically Tony Ferguson 2.0.
All right, about to say one of my mans in the chat definitely said it's Tony Ferguson versus Tony Ferguson 1.5. So he ain't giving 2.0.
He's fighting his son. He's fighting his son, literally.
No, you're absolutely right. I'm gonna still go with Tony Ferguson. He definitely sounds demoralized. I've never seen Tony Ferguson sound like this. Even at the last interview or like the press conference, sounded like he was about to cry when he was talking about his position.
And like he cut all his hair off. Look at him. He's almost going bald.
Right.
Like
I get it.
He looks like a whole different person.
Yeah. It's rough. I suggest anyone that's in the UFC watch it. It's crazy.
I have apprehensions about Tony Ferguson when he shows up before a fight and starts bitching.
That's true. Me too. But that's Tony. That's true. Let's just not act like it's not Tony, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Tony's gonna do that regardless.
That's Tony.
He does that at every fight. But
I get it.
His spirit is definitely low. That's for certain.
Yeah, we can see
now I am gonna be a realist about this fight.
All right.
Message from Charles Oliveira. You're gonna get hurt this fight.
Oh, without a doubt.
You're going to get hurt.
It will be blood.
Yeah. If there's one thing that Tony really knows how to do, he really knows how to cut people. Now, the thing I want to see from Tony, which I think that he doesn't have anymore because of injuries, and any jiu-jitsu person who's had substantial injuries knows this, it's not going to be there. I don't think his grapple game is there anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's because of the injuries. And I think against him trying to grapple with a guy like Charles Olivier, you're in danger because I think he's on the same level.
That's true.
Yeah,
Charles
no.
Oliveira has the most submissions, and
Yes,
I
he
think he
does.
has the most submissions in all of UFC. I could be wrong.
No, you're right
Here's
about that. I believe so.
here's the thing. Here's the thing about Tony Ferguson. He's a 10th planet guy.
Right,
Eddie Bravo.
right. Which is
It's a lot of triangles, a lot of rubber guard. A lot of rubber guard shit. A lot of shit that is rough on one joint and one joint only that you have to have basically good joints to do, and that's good knees. And that's one thing Tony Ferguson does not have anymore.
No, those knees are shot.
And so I'm like, hey, we saw it with Gaethje. Everybody's like, yeah, like last ditch effort, bro. Last round, hey, try to take this and turn this into a grappling match. And it wasn't there, and I think it's because of injuries. And I do not think he is the same person. I think he's going to be a shell of himself, and I think he's already setting himself up to show that he's a shell of himself.
Yeah, I think with that Gaethje fight, didn't he travel for Eminari? Is that how you say it?
He didn't even attempt to Eminari. And why would you, like, against Gaethje?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Why would you try Eminari? Why would you try Eminari when somebody's going to take a step back, you're going to fucking spin on the floor looking like a dumbass, he's going to punch you in your fucking face when you try to get back up?
I think that's exactly what happened.
It probably is.
I'm just saying.
But no, my thing is, I agree, his knees are definitely shot. But I don't know. I feel like Tony already knows he's about to be on his way out. So this is kind of a different. Like if Dana White wasn't cutting people, and I didn't feel like Tony was on his last leg, as in he's like off his I'm fighting for my life type shit right now, I would definitely say Charles without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
So
now,
all right,
with Tony,
hold on, because there's all right. He's down, yes, but at the same time, you have to realize this is still Tony Ferguson we're talking about. Before the Justin Gaethje fight, he was on a 12-fight win streak.
Yeah,
like, we should not count Tony Ferguson out.
And he made the dumbass mistake of cutting weight twice.
And that's what I was about to say.
He made a very, very dumb mistake.
Yeah.
But what we have seen from Tony Ferguson in his last couple fights, because we saw glimpses of it in the Anthony Pettis fight, when he starts getting tagged up, he gets hesitant. He starts to get really hesitant. Yeah. And I think Charles Olivier is not going for it. Especially when you talked your shit and you showed weakness. You showed weakness before the fight. When you told him, hey, if you come in 3, 4, 5 pounds overweight, I ain't fighting you, that means you're pussy. You scared.
No, I disagree.
Hold on, bro.
Even if I understand the advantage of weight. I understand the advantage of 4 or 5 pounds. But you don't say that shit. You don't say that openly. There's no fighter out there that's going to sit there and openly say, oh, if you come out 4 or 5 pounds overweight, I'm not fighting you. This is not something you say, bro.
Deeper than that. It's much deeper than that. Bro, when have you ever known Tony Ferguson to be known as a pussy? Please tell me.
Never.
As soon as he started getting punched in his face from Justin Gaethje.
Not duck.
As soon as he started getting punched in his face from Justin Gaethje. As soon as he started getting leg kicked from Justin Gaethje.
He was damaged. He was badly damaged.
But he still traded. It was nothing pussy about it. He went out on the sword.
I understand that. But my thing is, there's certain things you just don't. Why would you play that card? You're already telling your opponent you're about to go into competition, and I already have an out plan. I already have an exit plan. Like you don't ever let somebody. No, you don't tell anybody that.
Well, hold on. In all fairness, go ahead, bro.
All these fighters this year alone, missing weight and not really getting penalized for it, besides just getting a reduced pay. Action needs to be taken.
I understand that. That's a whole different story. But
at the end of the day, we're both fighters. We're both required to do the same exact thing. We're both required to go in there, train our ass up, and basically cut weight and make that weight so we can fight. So if you can't make weight and you want to make some bullshit ass excuse for not making weight, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to fight you.
Okay.
Plain and simple.
I'll put it to you like this. as a fighter, you have a certain reputation and mystique about you. And
Okay.
Tony Ferguson has made a living off of the mystique of I'm El Kakui. Like you come in here, you're gonna get hurt.
Right.
When you start making statements that are outlandish and you start showing some type of chink in the armor, like you staked your reputation as being one of those guys in the UFC, which are very rare, that I'll fight you anywhere, anytime. I'm fucking crazy. I'm here to fucking fight. And then you're starting to play the game. No, 3, 4, 5 pounds, I'm not fighting you. Well, what happens when he makes weight? Like, why would you wait on that? Why would you wait? Like, that's something that you do not say. If he comes in 3, 4, 5 pounds over, hey, I don't feel like fighting him because this is bullshit, then you say it when it happens. But don't ever think that beforehand. Tony Ferguson, that should have never been anything in his mind. That should have never been anything in his mind.
Okay, so all right, I get what you're saying about that too, but at the same time, I feel that Tony is that's one of the things Tony had to say because everyone looked at him and everyone chastised him and everyone ripped him a new one, especially us for him doing the weight cut still. Like we've been saying this for years. That Tony, you just need to stop taking these fights, bro. It's too late now, but you need to start taking those fights. But at least now he's saying, "Hey, look, I'm not taking this one. If this person's overweight." And I think he's saying that, and I feel it because he's been taking fights that he shouldn't have been taking for years.
And it's also frustration for not being recognized for everything that he's done.
Of course.
If I'm not getting title fights, and if I'm getting fed, if I'm getting the short end of the stick every single time, I lost one fight, and now I'm like, what? You said rank 5, like rank 4,
Yeah,
and like you're putting Chandler over me.
But how did he get the short end of the stick at the end of the day? You got hurt. You got bad knees.
I was just about to say now injuries, bro.
Like, you got hurt.
He's right.
They tried to make the Khabib fight 5, 6 times. Like, that's on you, bro. That nobody can. That's not short end of the stick. The game moves on.
It's
bro.
not just.
If you're hurt, then you're hurt. You had a good showing against Anthony Pettis. Okay, like cool, and it's like, all right, he's back. He's still in the running, et cetera, et cetera. Like, you should have been pushing the fight. You should have been pushing the fight. You took the Gaethje fight. You thought you were going to run through Gaethje. Like, oh, I can cut weight twice, this, that, and the other. I can show Khabib that I can make weight, et cetera, et cetera. And this is my thing with his head, all right? He tries too much to play this whole mind game bullshit, and he's not good at it. And his own actions is self-sabotage with him all the time. Like self-sabotage all the time. And I think this is another factor of him self-sabotaging himself.
I mean,
that's why he's going to lose this fight. That's why
he's more physical. The other thing, I can't put it on the same level because those other things were literally physical. I don't think he thought he could run through Justin Gaethje because he admitted and said out his mouth that I was training for Khabib. So therefore, that showed me that he wasn't overlooking Gaethje. He was just But what you said, Chad, is right. He was in his head trying to play mind games, and that's what ultimately fucked him. He did not look past Justin. He just ultimately fucked himself again because that's Tony Ferguson.
Okay, I'm just saying, you don't go into a fight and tell another man, "Hey, if you don't meet my terms, I'm not gonna fight you." You sound like a bitch.
But hold on, when any other fighter says that, it's okay though, right?
That's cool. You cross that bridge when you get there. You don't go looking for the bridge.
Okay.
You don't go looking for the bridge.
Okay.
Ask any fighter. Ask anybody who's ever prepared for a match. Why am I going to be focused on looking for it out of the fight? I don't give a fuck what he comes in at. We'll make that decision when we get there. Okay. And that's usually not a decision that you as the fighter should even be making. Your trainers, your coaches, your managers should be like, you know what? Hey, it ain't worth it. It's just not in the cards for you to really take that. Like, your main focus should be worrying about fighting Charles Olivier, because if you're not, he's going to come out there, he's going to wreck you just like Justin did.
I mean, I don't know. Anything I went into, it was always like, how do you feel about this?
Charles Olivier has fought all no-name fighters besides one person. That was Kevin Lee.
Okay. Look, now let's reword that. Charles Olivier has destroyed every single person that he's fought. That's a no-name.
Uh-oh.
I think he's the real deal, bro.
I think he's the real deal, too.
You say he destroyed every person he fought?
I think his striking.
Charles Olivier has taken an L.
I think his striking is just as good. I think his ground game is
right.
just as good.
Cool.
Like,
Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that right now. Significant. Let's look at strikes right now.
okay.
Significant strikes. Tony Ferguson, 5.51. Charles Oliveira, 3.18. Significant strike percentage, 44% for Tony Ferguson, 50% for Charles Oliveira. Absorb punches.
Now look at the next stat of
okay. Absorb punches per minute, 3.55 for Tony Ferguson, 3.01. Defense, 63% for Tony Ferguson, 54% for Charles Oliveira. Grappling.
Now who's the better grappler?
Okay, so we got grappling. Takedown average 0.6 for Tony, 2.8 for Charles. Takedown accuracy 42% for Tony, 43% for Charles. Takedown defense 76% for Tony, 58% for Charles.
Charles Oliveira puts his fight away in the second round by submission.
Nah.
Okay.
I'm
on the record. I'm on the record.
Oh yeah, you're on record now. That's it. That's
on the record, bro.
It is what it is. Ride with it. I mean,
the second round.
I'm not calling rounds now.
You said second round? You calling second round?
Yeah, second round.
Okay.
You want to put money on that? You know why?
You put money on that?
We're gonna have a live bet. We're gonna put money on a live. All right, bet.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, bet.
That's fine.
Cash apps already.
It's easy. It's an easy bet because all you're basically saying is Charles Oliveira is going to submit Tony Ferguson in the second round.
Well, that's how Charles is going to win if he wins.
And that's fine.
Yeah, that's how Charles is going to win if he wins. So I see what Chad is talking about. Definitely without
because I think Tony's going to get baited in, and I think his ground game ego is going to get the best of him. He's going to realize he ain't the same Tony anymore.
Oh, that could happen. But you know what? All I'm saying is
ask anybody who does any type of grappling or training, what's the number one thing that's gonna fuck you up? Your ego.
You're right.
And I think Tony's coming into this fight with a lot of ego because he thinks he shouldn't have fought it. He feels like he's been cheated. He felt like he should have fought Khabib. He feels like he shouldn't have. He felt like he should have beat Justin. When he got outclassed by Justin.
He did for being an idiot.
That's true. Well, look, this is my last time I'm going back for Tony. You know, this is his last leg. To me, this is the defining fight if Tony's going to be Tony. This is it. This is absolutely it.
I will say this. Unfortunately, I do believe if he loses this fight, Dana White's going to let him go.
As he should.
No,
I don't think
in my
opinion. I think he should.
Dana White does not like Tony Ferguson.
We know
he
that.
Has not liked him for a very long time.
Yeah, but he's not going to cut him because his name still got power, and he can use his name to be a booster for young talent.
But you can't be a champion if you're not championship potential. Why should I even keep him?
Yeah, but you can keep him around because you can use him like for example, this fight. If Charles Oliveira beats Tony Ferguson, you just springboarded Charles Oliveira's career because to most casuals, they don't know who Charles Oliveira is.
They don't.
So that's why you keep a Tony Ferguson around, just like you kept a Donald Cerrone around, just like you've kept a lot of these people with names. Look at Robbie Lawler.
Then why did you get rid of Yoel Romero?
You got rid of Yoel Romero because I think Yoel Romero showed in that Izzy fight that he just can't fight anymore. I think he's too hurt. I think Yoel.
What? He did better than Paulo Costa. What are you saying?
Paulo Costa was a different story, but I think the way that Yoel Romero fought, I think Dana realized.
Smart. He fought smart. That's what he did.
But here's the thing between Paulo Costa and Yoel Romero. Paulo Costa is not 45 years old.
I was just about to say that. I'm about to throw up the T. I'm about to throw up the T.
Wait. Yoel Romero is Cuban. We don't know how old he is.
That's true. You know, Cubans be like 80 years old. Here's
the thing with Yoel Romero. Like on a serious tip, like getting out of the whole like joking realm about Yoel Romero. You know his entire neck's fused, right? From the base of his skull to his shoulders, he has a fusion done. I think Yoel Romero is getting to a point where all of this is taking too much of a toll on him. He's not young anymore.
That's true.
He's not young anymore. And I think Dana was like, I've kind of exhausted my star power against him because I don't know what I'm going to get when Yoel Romero comes out. I'm not going to get Tim Kennedy Yoel Romero.
Right.
I'm not. Those days are gone. Why am I going to keep him around?
Yeah.
Like let him if he still has time, I can't afford to pay him right now. So if he still has time, go to Bellator.
Nah, Bellator doesn't want him for that same exact reason.
Exactly. I don't know what I'm getting. So peace.
I mean, I agree. I think you have bled him to death right now. At this point,
Yeah.
Yoel is good, but especially in the division where he's in, you have enough names now, right?
Here's my thing. What's Yoel's motivation? Yoel gonna win a title? Fuck no.
Hell no, he's not. He's done.
No, you're right.
He's
You're
done
right.
with
You're
that.
right.
What's his motivation? So what's his motivation?
I mean,
I'm asking you. He don't need money.
He don't need money.
He got a $17 million settlement.
Yeah, he got the bread.
Like, come on.
Right.
Yeah, even like one of the guys that's watching commented and said Bellator and PFL were like, "Oh nah, yeah, we're good. It's done.
Yeah.
It's no point. It's no point." He doesn't garner enough of a fan base outside of UFC for people to really like for him to go to a different promotion and still do like numbers. At the end of the day, like you said, it's done. It's a wrap. He was there for a while because at one point in time, the people that watch UFC was excited to see him, but now we have a division where it's actually semi-interesting, and you don't need your well name to pull out even no names, especially if you got somebody Izzy and anybody you throw in front of them, they're gonna watch. It's no point.
There's only one fight you could possibly make for Yoel Romero to have any type of significance or relevance for it to be a sell. You want me to tell you what that is? Yoel Romero, Kevin Gastelum. That's the only one that works.
That's it.
You know what fight they're actually trying to sell right now? With Yoel Romero, Tito Ortiz.
Nobody wants to watch that.
Nobody's not gonna watch that, man.
They're trying to sell it. They're trying to push that.
And Tito's gonna get dusted.
He is.
Like,
I hope he get dusted too.
Yeah, I don't like Tito Ortiz.
Anyway,
I respect Tito.
All right, but let's go back and focus on this fight card. The last fight of the night is the actual.
Is there anything to really talk about outside of that? We know what's going to happen.
Figueiredo's a dog. He's going to
do
pressure him. And yeah, come on, bro. Let's not do this.
Come on, baby.
Let's not do
Figueiredo's a danger on the ground and stand up. He's the best thing in that division and land and air like shit. You know what I'm saying? That's it. There's nothing that's going to touch him. Like no disrespect to the other fighter that's fighting him.
So you don't think Brandon Moreno has a chance in hell?
Bro, I just looked at Brandon Moreno, like one of his most recent fights, and he was getting smashed, and then they went to the ground, which is fine. Figueiredo land any one of those hits, he's going to sleep. Night. What are you talking about? It's over. And the thing about it, Figueiredo,
he's just different. He really is just built different.
He is. Like, yeah, just definitely the meme. It's it. As much as I love talking about him because he's a dog and we seen him live, and oh my gosh, it's absolutely amazing.
All right, so let me ask you this:
What's up?
Figueiredo's gonna win this fight. So once he wins this fight, who do you see being the next contender? Do you see Cody Garbrandt or do you see Henry Cejudo?
I didn't take my glasses because I don't see nothing. I don't see nobody. I see nothing. I see nothing.
Yeah,
For real.
Because they both talking.
If I'm Cody,
come back, probably not.
If I'm Cody, I stay away from this.
Me too.
No.
Me
Cody
too.
needs to wait till TJ comes back. He just needs to wait till TJ comes back. That's it.
Yeah, if I'm Cody, I kind of don't want to get involved in that situation. Not with Figueiredo.
Nope, not at all.
So what about Henry Cejudo?
Henry's playing games.
That's what I'm saying. Henry not coming back. He's being Henry. He's trolling.
Yeah, he's trolling. Like
That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. It's old news. I'm worried about who's
I hear you, but who else is left to fight?
That's why we just said in the beginning. It's nobody. It really isn't.
It kind of makes sense why they wanted to kill that division now.
Well, I don't think it's worth killing the division. I think Henry kind of left things in a bad spot.
I agree.
And I think Henry's a very intelligent fighter, very good fighter.
Yeah,
I think he saw all this coming.
Yep. Yeah.
And he's like, I'm getting the fuck out.
I'm about to say, I don't like Henry, but Henry know how to play the game. Henry know how to play the game.
Like I'll call myself Triple C, and can't nobody really question that, and I'm getting the fuck.
That's it.
Yeah, he played it very smart.
No, he did. He definitely did. I mean, that's just what it is. That's just really what it is. So
I don't really see any of this. Nah, Figueredo is done. As far as like Cody needs to focus on TJ. I think TJ needs to focus on Cody.
Yeah.
TJ coming back is going to be a weird situation. I think he's gonna fight Sugar Sean.
Who? TJ fighting Sugar Sean when he first comes back?
Yeah, I think they're gonna be like, "Hey, bro, if you were that good, go ahead and prove yourself." I think they're gonna do it.
Hold on, but Sean not a ranked fighter yet, is he?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, and the reason why it doesn't matter is because this is where you get into fight promotion. I gotta build somebody's name.
Right.
I got two guys that were at the top of their game, and one cheated his ass off, and the other one had a fluke ass injury.
Yeah.
And if I want to get that star power back for any of them, y'all better figure out which one of y'all it's gonna be.
That's true.
No, that makes sense. No, that's very true.
I mean, like I said, we're gonna see. I'm embracing TJ Dillashaw coming back. The more the more top flight fighters be getting UFC, and the more fights we get is what builds UFC. So if he comes back and they make that fight, like it's not boxing. Fighters is what makes it so interesting. Because they make the fights. That's just really it. Nobody's really ducking anybody, except if it's injuries, and we can't control that. So I look forward to it. Sugar Shane, I don't know if Sugar Shane TJ Dillashaw is the fight to make when he first come back. Because I mean, as far as numbers wise, I can see it.
So who else is he going to fight?
I have to look.
TJ.
Yeah.
I mean, does Cody even have a book fight?
Why would you throw him straight to Cody? He don't deserve that.
I mean, okay. Then what about the whole Uriah Faber thing?
I get it, but no.
I agree.
It doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. Like either have him come back and fight somebody top 15, which probably isn't going to happen because you got such weird fights set up in that division already. Like massive jumps. Like you got Cheeto Vera fighting Jose Aldo, like 7 versus 15.
Yeah,
like,
that's weird as hell.
That is weird.
And I mean, what TJ's gonna come back and fight he ain't gonna fight Marab because why would you do that to him?
Yeah, nah.
Now that you mentioned that,
Sean's got to get back in the conversation of proving that he is on that level, and why not fight a guy that was an ex-champ? And if TJ takes an L, then hey, TJ, like we see you weren't shit because it was EPO.
Yeah. That's true too, but I mean, I rarely believe in tune-up fights, but TJ hasn't fought in a while. I believe you give him somebody.
Fuck his tune-up fight. Fuck his tune-up fight. Tune-up fight is for somebody that took a break.
That's true. Yeah.
It is. But he hasn't fought in a minute.
Name somebody that came off suspension. Name somebody that came off suspension, right? And not no bullshit ass suspension, because I know Sugar Sean got suspended for his little bullshit.
Actually, I can name someone.
That got a super tune-up fight.
I can name someone.
Go ahead, bro.
It's your favorite fighter, John Jones.
That was a tune-up fight? Ovid St. Preux is a tune-up fight? Glover Teixeira are tune-up fights? Those are tune-up fights? Seriously. Seriously, those are tune-up fights?
It is what it is.
Both of them are top 10.
But Glover still. Glover, but I get you, but
Glover Teixeira is on a title run. Like, what are you talking about?
Right, but I mean, there's a lot of people that may be on title runs, but let's just be real. Chad, let's be real. Out of that division, especially that division, there's that's a tune-up fight.
Do you want me to be real? Okay, so let's be really real. Everybody in that division is a tune-up fight for John Jones. It's like,
I mean,
like,
I don't disagree. I don't really
like, come
disagree.
on, man. That's an exception, though. Come on, man.
No, there is no exception.
I mean, Brad,
Here.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't gonna say that because me and Chad probably on the same level. Like that is an exception, but that is the person I thought of.
Yeah, like that. I knew that was gonna come up, but it's like, come on, man. Like, you can't do that.
Because you can't say that.
But there's levels to it, though. You know, there's levels to it. Right.
Like, I get it. I get it.
I mean, in all fairness, look, I don't have a name right now. We'll talk about it later. You know, we'll talk about it outside the live feed and probably outside the chat. But you know, we'll discuss it for sure, and I will definitely give you a name. Right now, I don't have one for you. I'm not really feeding into the TJ coming back yet. I do want him to come back, but I'm not feeding into it yet until we hit this next year, and then fights start to roll, and then I start seeing him getting more incorporated with the UFC promotion itself. And that's not me just kind of ignoring it. It's just out of sight, out of mind, and worry about who's on the card or who's on the promotion now.
Since we're doing this live and it's just we ain't got no choice but to talk logistics right now, do you want to cut the podcast here and then continue on live? I have no problem with that.
Wait. Oh. Whoa.
I have no problem with that.
I don't have a problem with that.
Because we got some things to talk about and some things
we definitely do. We definitely do.
Yeah.
Especially because Brad's over here like sipping the El Kukui juice, and I really don't like it. Like I don't like the look on it.
The El Kukui juice.
Like I don't like. So y'all let me know.
Well, look. I mean, we could talk about that a little later. We are sitting at 40 minutes, which is usually around our time. I think we kind of went in detail and actually went way more in detail than I even expected. I think this was a good live showing.
I think so too.
I know. I mean, how do you all feel about it? Hopefully,
I
some of
enjoyed
the viewers, y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. If not, if y'all don't like it, we'll still have the podcast up in all our links: iTunes, Spotify, BuzzFeed.
Buzzsprout. Is it Buzzsprout or BuzzFeed?
It's Buzzsprout, but it's like I say BuzzFeed because it holds the whole link.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So we'll have that there ready as well. But we do moving forward plan to do a lot of live recordings. This has been great.
Yeah, I think the live format is kind of it's kind of the future now. I kind of like the live format a little better.
Hey, talk to him, Wedget.
Nah, I was just saying, nah, man, the Tony Ferguson shit kind of bothers me.
It's all good.
Oh, we can continue that conversation. Don't worry.
We'll continue that offline. So, okay, great. Well, with that being said, I can go ahead and cut the stream. I appreciate you all for, listening and viewing. Like I said, this is kind of like a pilot test run, and we'll come back with official dates when we'll stream and stuff like that too. The YouTube page is now up. I will post everything on the page, and you all have a good night.